Hello, everyone. Patriot 5 here along with Patriot 6 Monday night. Happy December to everybody. And I have no idea what to say and what to do. It's good to see we had some people over here. I can't read your names, Jeffrey and Janet and Ron Anderson. That's about all I can read, guys. I got to ask my son. Papa G's on, Ron says. Karen Allsbury's on. Who's that, Ronnie?
I said hi to Bill. So
Bill's on. David Duffy's on. Okay, it's good to see everyone.
Karen's on.
I said Karen. I can't read that name. Sekhme, First Goddess, 76. Welcome, everybody. I'm not going to try to look. I don't know what happened. My background got changed over here, and I cannot see the names. As I said, it's Monday, December 1st, a new month. We were promised things. We're going to talk about the things we were promised. I have fought a case of negativity all day today, but I've got it in the background, and hopefully I can be positive for this show. And Maria's on, and hopefully we can have a good show and just go. But lots to talk about. I think.
Who's all got their Christmas trees up?
Yeah, who went and got their Christmas trees or put their artificial trees up? I went with my daughter and son-in-law and grandkids and got trees and went out to all-you-could-eat pizza afterwards. So let's say the pledge, and then let's do the music, and then let's get into the show. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Naturally, the phone would go off, so I have to turn it on. So, he was asking about me.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again. Just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt of past the land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea. From Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'm glad next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt about this land. God bless the USA.
Because I still have hope for the maybe and the babies up there never something happens. Someone will help them. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. God bless the USA. What do you think about that, David Duffy? How about you, Jeffrey? God bless the USA. You know, it's sad that we live in a country that people don't want to make America great again. All they want to do is let these aliens come over here and do things. And I watched a clip the other day, and there's this man, and I'm not the type of person that likes to hit people. I'm not the kind of person who likes to inflict pain on people. Number one, because I was so small growing up that I couldn't inflict pain. That's why my best friends was always the biggest guys in the class. Oh, I was a cocky little guy. I was a mouthy little guy because my best friends were the biggest guys in the class. And in order to get to me, they had to come through them. And even if they tried to catch me alone, which they couldn't usually because I was too fast, but if they would, they knew that if they did something to me, that my buddies would take care of them. Case in point, my freshman year of high school. You know, when you're in 8th grade, when you're in junior high, you're kingpin. So I got the idea to be kingpin 3 different times in school, and I didn't even go to college. But my first school I went to was a 6th grade school. So when I got in 6th grade, we were the kingpins. We ruled the school. Then when I went to junior high, 7th grade, we were the little guys. But in 8th grade, we were the kingpins. But see, I learned in Buckingham. Terry Shover, Dale Joyner, Jack Randall were my best friends because they were the biggest guys. Plus, they was my best friends anyway. David Gross didn't take long to join in that group too because he was smaller than me. Then we get to Hersher, whole different thing. You know, we're going 6 years in Buckingham. Man, we were kingpins even in first grade. I mean, there was nothing such thing that over in Buckingham because we was all family. Most of them were. But anyway, we go to Hersher, and now we got the Hersher kids and the Bonfield kids, and it's like, oh, we're in a huge school. What are we going to do? But I still had my friends. But then my freshman year of high school, these seniors, these big seniors, decide they're going to take little old me because they was jealous of my speed and my charmingly good looks, you know, and they were going to set me on a water fountain and make me walk around with wet pants all day. I couldn't do nothing. But then all of a sudden, coming down the hallway, I'd added a couple more new friends too, Wayne Lowe and another guy. They were definitely the biggest guys in the freshman class. That 2 of them ended up starting as freshmen on the varsity base football team that year. And they seen it. And them 3 seniors that was going to do, that's what they was going to do to me, set me on a water fountain and turn it on. Them 3 seniors got set on a water fountain. And they got warned, you ever mess with Ralph again, and we'll do worse next time. So I tell this story just because I thought it was enjoyable. Probably no one heard it. You guys are all busy chatting. But I tell it because, see, kids don't understand things in school now. You know, in the school district that we're in, there's this one bus driver. She is constantly complaining on Facebook about the way people drive and respect the school buses. Well, I do, so I don't worry about it. But she's constantly going. But then she never wants to say anything about when the buses screw up. When I used to babysit the little monkey over in Clifton, I would have to go sometimes early. Or when I was babysitting Liam and Ella, and I was babysitting all day instead of a half a day, I'd have to be over there for my daughter to get to school. So I was out when the buses was out. And our school district that I lived in, I had to go through that to get to the school district my daughter teaches in. And my school district constantly was running stop signs, running me off the road, and because we're on these country roads. You know, John Denver, you know, take me home country road. I'm going to be glad to see him come back and perform again. But anyway, I'd get run off the road and I'd say something to this person that was always complaining. Well, make up a complaint. I said I did. I took a picture of the bus. I got the bus number, and I called them up, and they said, "Sir, we'll look into it." 2 days later, I got run off the road again. So I decided I'm going to go a different direction. I'll go a different road instead of that route. Oh, that day, one of the buses run the stop sign and almost hit me. What I'm saying is they're always complaining, but now today, with the bad weather, guys, we've had a lot of snow. Last Friday night and Saturday, Sunday, I walked into Ron's house today and he said, "Well, it looks like we beat the snow. It's out there, but they got the roads cleaned. It looks like we're not going to get any more." This was at about 1:15 this afternoon. It's now 3 minutes until 7:15 tonight, and it hasn't quit snowing since. My daughter-in-law with my youngest granddaughter is out in the snow driving back from Chicago, and I used to love the snow. Went yesterday, got Christmas tree with my daughter and son-in-law and grandkids, and had a snowball fight and fell down in the snow. And you guys would have loved to seen that. I mean, I literally fell down, and when I fell, I knocked the monkey down, and before I fell, I caught Liam right with a snowball right alongside the head, and he went down. My daughter just standing there, just taking pictures. I was surprised she didn't do video. But it's what I'm trying to tell kids, because this is the kids segment. Have fun. Your time will come when you'll be the big dog. How many here can remember being a big dog senior year? How many here can remember thinking to yourself, "Wow, I wish I was a senior citizen. All I'd have to do is just collect my money, play golf, go fishing, go shopping, whatever you want to do, spend time together." My mom, her friends, they enjoy just sitting talking all day long, giving just enough time for all the women to get home from my mom's house so they could get dinner on the table for the husband. "What you do today, honey?" "Oh, I worked hard in the house." "Oh, yeah? How many cups of coffee did you drink at Leona's house?" But them were the days, guys. As the song says, them were the days, my friend. I wish they never would have ended, because kids just don't know. But kids, I'm going to tell you another story here, and it's not about a man named Jed, because you probably wouldn't even remember that. But I said something to my son yesterday about special eds, because my granddaughter still needs some special attention. Patriots 7 still needs some attention. And the kids that have come up from down under really need special attention. And I said to my son something about the beds, and he just kind of shrugged it off like, "Hey, crazy old man, shut up. We don't believe in it." And I said, "Why don't you believe in it?" He said, "Because I got to see it to believe in it." I said, "You do?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, Brandon, do you remember when we got our first computer? Anybody remember them first computers when they first came out? I didn't get mine when I first come out, because I was one of these that said, "No, my kids don't need to be on a computer." But then the ex-wife and the two kids said, "Oh, but we can use them for school. We can do research and it'll help us." Okay. Remember when you went to turn on that computer and go, "Oh," scare the living bejesus out of me. I wouldn't get on them. If they wanted to teach me how to get on them, they turned them off. I stayed in the other room. I thought the computer was going to explode. Do you remember your first printer that if it printed, you give it a standing ovation and clap because they were so pathetic? But my son just bought this new 3D digital printer that he can actually make things with. Yeah, he made a bowl in red, white Christmas colors for a gift to take Thanksgiving Day. These bowls are selling in the store, and you can't keep them on the shelves for $30 or more. He made it. When he put that up as a gift and the people seen it, every one of them wanted that as a gift. So they play this little game that you throw a dice and whatever the number is, you got to listen to what they say and then you got to do it. You might throw a dice and it might say, pick 2 people to exchange their gifts with. So they have to. And at the end of 3 rounds, when everybody's had 3 rounds, you go through everything, you get the gift you have. Everybody wanted it. My niece ended up buying Patriots 7 ended up with it. She ended up buying it for $10. Only for her stupid husband to sell it back to my other niece for $5. But anyway, they all want them, right? They all want them. So I said to Brandon, I said, hey, that'd be great Christmas gifts from me and Uncle Ron for the nieces. So he's making me them. Now he's allowed to make a few, but he can't go out and make them and stuff because, I mean, to get these things, they're as nice. Matter of fact, I had my nieces say they're better quality than the ones in the stores, but I don't know what they're called. They got special name. But what he did is he made these bowls with the lid on it, looking Christmassy, the red and white. And then he takes these little Debbie cakes, the Christmas little Debbie cakes, and he puts in it. And you open it up, and it's a great gift. So that's what we're giving our nieces. I hoping to get one for my daughter, but I can't say.
might fill them up with khaki.
No, we're going to fill them up with the cakes. Ron said we might fill them up with cashews. I'm saying, what's the use of getting them cheap? But my son, you know. But the point I was making about this thing that he made, I said, when we first got our printer, did you ever think there'd be a printer like this someday? So if you can take a crap printer for a computer and do stuff with, why can't you take a bed? But you know what? All these people who's got their eyes closed, Larry, Janet, David, Jeffrey, Clinton, 1968. You know, all you guys, you know what? They're non-believers. These people that won't open their eyes. Do you understand? You probably all that I just mentioned. Everybody over here. You probably all got some people that they just don't listen. They won't open their eyes. I had someone tell me the other day, I was talking to them, and they said, you know, Big Pharma is a multi-billion-dollar business. How are they going to allow that to happen? How are they going to allow to have that happen? I looked them straight in the eye, and my answer was DONALD TRUMP. You know, I could make a song out of that. Mickey Mouse. No, Donald Trump. Mickey Mouse, Donald Trump. You know, might get in trouble there, but just think about it, guys. You know, think about it. Did you ever think we could do something like that? So why, if we can do that, why can't we replace Big Pharma? Why? Because people don't want to accept the fact that it's going to happen. I was telling a lady, and I'm going to get to the kids section, but I'm having fun right now. And I'm telling you, I didn't even want to do the show tonight because I am frustrated. But I was telling a lady about every country's going to go $1 for $1. And she told me it'll never happen. It can't balance like that. So I go and get an article and it says 209 countries have signed a pact that as soon as all the wars is end, we will be going to big N, big G, and we will all be having, every country's dollar will be the same, $1 for $1. Signed DJT, but it had the name. So I send this article to this lady, and she goes, I still say it won't work. And I said, that's because you're closed-minded. You think you're smarter than everybody. You're a typical Democrat. Come to find out she was. So, Jimmy, How was your Thanksgiving? Did you have a good one? I know it was going to be lonely without mommy, but as I told you time and time again, she was there. My mom was with me, with Ron. They're never leaving us.
Yeah, it's too bad she didn't make her dress, you know.
Maybe because um, we can't see them, we can't touch them, we can't talk to them, and you can always talk to them. I mean, you don't see God and Jesus Christ, do you? But I talk out loud to them every day, and that's what I'm trying to tell anybody, not just the kids here, but Jimmy, your family. Just be there for your mommy now. She's there with you every step of your life. She'll be there. And I know there was some tragic things that she was expecting another little one and you never got to meet your little sister. But look at it on another side. At least mommy's not in heaven alone. She's got a little girl with her. And I know it hurts, buddy. I was 48 years old when my mom died. And I'm telling you, I cried every many tears as you do, and I still do. But just honor her like I honor my mom and think about all the great times, not the fact that she's not here. Because when you start doing that, when you start thinking about the great times, she's going to prove she's here because she'll start showing up once or twice a month, maybe more, in your dreams. And I tell you, when you lose your mom and dad, and all of a sudden they're in your dreams and you get a chance to talk to them or do something. It may be a dream of something that you once did when they was alive. It's an amazing feeling when you wake up. You don't want to wake up. You want to sleep and sleep and sleep. If you wake up, you want to go back to sleep and say, please, God, let me dream again. But just honor her. Patriot 11, I hope, to all of the children, I hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was good. Kansas City got beaten football. The Packers won, but they're the Packers. I shouldn't be naughty. This is a kid segment. I didn't feel like drinking. I only drank about a half a beer. But I felt like being kind of going after people, planting seeds, you know what I mean? And I'll tell that story about planting seeds and when I get into the grown-up section, if I ever get there. Patriot Wyatt Earp, Patriot Karate Kid. How are you doing in karate there, young man? We're waiting for the results of Small Hank to see if he got his new color belt. Hey, Patriot Princess, our queen, Patriot Hunter. I seen Patriot Princess in a little video the other day doing some stuff with, I'm assuming it was great grandma. Might have been Jana.
No, it was Jana's mom.
It was Jana's mom, so great grandma. Yeah. And I made a comment, and Jana always loves it when I make comments about our princess. She's an amazing young girl. She's going to break a lot of boys' hearts, too. Patriot Boogaloo, and Boogaroo, and Boogie are 4 Bs. Did Grandpa John take care of you? Was the turkey good? To me, my favorite on Thanksgiving is not the turkey. It's the mashed potatoes and gravy. And 3 years ago, I went down to my family get-together. And that's all I wanted to eat was just mashed potatoes and gravy. And by the time I got there, they was out. I didn't get no mashed potatoes and gravy. So I put an end to that. Me and Ron make our own turkey. We make our own mashed potatoes and gravy, our own homemade noodles, our own vegetable, our own pies. and we kind of like it. Patriot, Little Leona, and Little Elan. Well, you're getting to the age where you might probably start enjoying Thanksgiving. You might start enjoying it. Patriots super gymnast. What a loving little girl. But my heart was broken. I literally, how many times you guys ever known me that I was speechless? Patriots super gymnast got me speechless Thanksgiving Day. We got talking and something was brought up. And one of my nieces said something about, when are you going to get a boyfriend? The girl is, I'm prejudiced, but the girl is beautiful. You guys know her as Ella when she's on here. And she looked at my niece and she says, I have one. I've had one since August. I still can't come up with the words. She looked at me and she says, Papa, are you okay? I said, why didn't you tell me? Well, I said, I back you in everything. Hey, Beth Shaw. I said, I back you in everything. Well, I didn't. I says, I've even talked to you about how can these boys not like you as beautiful as you are? Now, you got to take into consideration, she's my first granddaughter. And there might be just a little bit of prejudiceness there. A little bit of, but there's not, because even Uncle Ron says, no, she is a very beautiful. Her and Haley, the oldest Bugs, I think it is. I mean, they're getting to ages where, as much as I hate to say it, she's not a little girl anymore. Yesterday, when we went and did the trees, she made sure that when we went to eat afterwards, she sat by me. And then she makes fun of Liam, Patriot 7, and she makes fun of the little monkey because she's Papa's girl. And I tell you, when you got 5, it's really rough, but I love the attention from him. And she's an amazing kid. And then you have Patriot 7, which me and him right now, I love him. I love him with all my heart. But there's certain things that I love in life, and there's certain things that he loves in life. And right now he's going through things that he loves that I don't like at all. And he loves to go hunting with his dad. He's got a deer this year and he's got a squirrel. A deer, a lot of people do that. A lot of do the squirrel. But see, when I was growing up, I had pet squirrels. And for someone to go out and take a gun to them, I love him. I'm there for him. We had a great time with the snowball fight yesterday, knocking each other down. Man, I got him a direct shot right to the head. So, baseball season will come around again, and me and him will be, man, just like that. But see, his sports has interrupted our fishing. Last year, we went fishing in the summer 15, 16, 17 times. I bought a 3-year membership, 3-year license. This last year, all we went was twice. And both times together, we didn't even go for a total of 2 hours because he always had to get back to practice. But we'll get there. Patriot Small Hank, as I said, we're waiting for the results of him to see if he gets the new color thing. The only thing he hasn't been able to do is break the board with his foot. He breaks them with ease with his hands now, but he hasn't broke the board. He's done it, but one day when he went to break the board with his foot, it hurt his foot, and now he's a little, when you get hurt, you're a little bit hesitant to try again. Patriot Little Monkey, she's a handful. She did something naughty the other day that she learned from grown-ups. Daddy, and she did something naughty to Patriots 7. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but we're sitting having that pizza yesterday at the pizza buffet there at Chicago Dough, and Patriots super gymnast says, I'm going to tell Grandpa, what you did to Liam. No, no, no. I mean, she was petrified. She really thought when I found out what she did that I would really be upset with her. Well, she finally broke in and told me, and I said, and how did you learn to do that? I seen my daddy do it a lot. I said, so in other words, instead of you being punished, daddy should have been punished. Because she's at an age where she picks up what adults do. And my daughter says, I told you he wouldn't be mad at you. I said, no, no, no. I'm disappointed that she did it. But I'm disappointed that she was taught to do it. And I looked right at my son-in-law. And then we have Patriot little Kira, who's had to go up again today for some more tests. Not that she needs it really, really bad, but I sure wish I could get her on the med bed. So a few things it's just lingering on from when she was first born. Huh?
You're supposed to say special beds.
Supposed to say what?
Special bed.
What did I say?
Man.
Oh, well. If I mess up once,
If we get kicked off, we get kicked
Yeah.
off.
But anyway, that concludes the kids show tonight. And you know, I didn't know if I'd make a half an hour, and heck, I ain't even got into the stuff yet. And I made a half an hour, but some of you are probably sleeping. And multi-choice here, one voice. So where are we now? I have no idea. I can honestly say I have no idea. I just keep trying to keep my vibrations up.
I think we're closed.
The other day, Friday, phone rang. Ron's phone rang. It was a group call. Cindy had started a group call. Myrna and Diane got on it. And they was telling me that Bruce was supposed to go on with a special announcement. I said, this is Friday. Bruce never goes on Friday. But then I said, but he may be going to, because maybe he got some really good news and he wants people to get it. But then I looked at the clock and it was after 8 o'clock, and Bruce is always on at 8 o'clock by my time. And that being said, that being said, I said, okay, guys, I'm going to get off the call for a few minutes, and I'm going to go to the call universe and see. Well, when I went, they said the speaker has not gotten there yet. So I went back to the call and I told him what they said. Then I went back again about 20 minutes later. Now it's like almost 9:30 and he didn't come on. So he didn't come on, but you know, everything I keep hearing is it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen, and it's supposed to happen soon. But I'm going to read something here in a few minutes. Well, you know what? I might go ahead and read it now. That way I can just talk about it if I can find it. Okay, here. Big N, Big G isn't coming. It's already here. Debts erased, banks losing control, gold-backed system rising. The old world is falling, silent while the new one is activating. Stay ready. Your freedom is being written in real time. The shift can't be stopped. Now, the reason I wanted to read that was because I was standing here in Ron's living room day. Actually, I was putting up mine in his Christmas tree. And I was getting everything fixed up, and I put the Christmas curtains up, and I have to bring down the Christmas couch cover, and I'm getting ready for Christmas for us. And I was thinking about something. I said, Ron, wasn't there supposed to something happen today? And he goes, yeah. I said, didn't our president, Mr. The Hat, didn't he tell us now for a long time that on today, the Big N and Big G was going into effect? And he said, yeah. And I said, I haven't heard nothing of you. Nope. So I sat down. I went into Telegram. I went to TikTok. I went all over the place to see if I could find something to take off. All they want to tell us is it's here. It's into effect. Well, debt erased, banks losing control, gold back system rising. Debt's erased. If we're in it, I'm not saying everybody's going to get their debts raised at the same time, but wouldn't somebody be able to stand, like the song says, stand up and tell people all my debt's been erased, and show people, look, this was my balance on my house. Look at my balance now, 0. It's like the same thing with all of us getting this $2,000. Bruce told us every Tuesday and every Thursday night until Thanksgiving night, every Tuesday and every Thursday night, others told us, relentless people told us every week, every day almost, that we were going to get the $2,000 starting the first Wednesday of the month. Senior citizens were supposed to get it for several months, up to 6 possibly. But others, married couple was going to get $2,000 and $2,000. Then Bruce comes on his show last Tuesday and he makes the statement, I know it's true. I know they're doing it. I know this was a week ago, Thursday, he said this. He knows it's true. He knows they're doing this, that they're sending it out because he knows a couple that the man is 91 and the woman is 84 and they receive $4,000 together in their account. So he said, it looks to them like they're going and starting with the elderly. Well, if you're 94 and 81, if you're 71 like me, most of the people, a lot of people in our group are on Social Security. So what would be so hard to put a $2,000 payment in all of our accounts? Then you got rid of all of the senior. I mean, you can do it for them every week and get it done. But now all of a sudden it takes forever. We're supposed to be moving into the most sophisticated technology the world has ever seen. But they've only been able in a month to send out to 2 people, a 91 and an 84-year-old person who probably can't even enjoy it. Probably what they did to the 91 and 84-year-old persons is they give their family something to be happy about, because they might say now there's at least going to be something in their accounts when they die. And I'm not being morbid here, but I don't know about you guys, David, Janet, Tony, One Voice. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting sick and tired of them making promises and nothing ever happening. You know, I was going to tell you the story about Thanksgiving dinner or Thanksgiving at my niece's place when we had it. And my oldest niece, Alicia, she's always, when she gives me gifts for my birthday, for Christmas, she always gives me something with the hat. And her mom and dad celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary on October 4th. And I went and I wore a beautiful USA shirt. It was a nice shirt. And on the back of it, it has his name. And the more she drank and partied, she comes up to me at the end and she says, I love your shirt. It's beautiful. I don't like the name of the person on the back. And I said, why? You're the one that always has supported me. Well, I'll support you, but I won't him. And I said, why? Can you tell me? I just wish one of these people that is negative about this man could stand in front of me and say, I won't support him because of this and have the proof of that.
Tell us why they supported the last president.
Why would anybody support someone who slept through the last presidency, probably in a 6-foot box? It's a box 6 foot under, but he slept through it all. He had no clue of what's going on. And you support a man like him who's trying to ruin America, who's trying to steal from every leader in the world, especially the Ukraine. You'll support him, but a man whose main goal is to make America great again. His main goal is to do that and wipe out the bad people and wipe out the stuff and live in a world that God's always wanted us to live in. A man that's never taken a penny, but is rebuilding a room in the White House because they had to get rid of the other one. They had to fix under the floor too to block something off because there was something there and it had to deal with kids. And he's taking care of this with donations from people, but the rest of the money is his own money. This man has literally lost money after money after money trying to make America great again, why other presidents have went in there and just literally become ungodly rich. I just wish somebody could stand up and tell me why you're against making America great again, why you're against getting something introduced to the world that can prolong your life and we can live lives like they used to in the Old Testament. Why they're against not only living longer, but living healthier, where you don't have to go to a DOCTOR and get lied to. When you get something wrong with you, you just go lay on that bed and boop, there it goes. Boop, there it goes. You see what I mean? These people are, oh. I talked to another guy one day. And I said something and they go, I don't want to live that long. I said, really? You got 3 grandkids, you got 5 kids, and a wife you've been married to for a long time, and you don't want to live? You want to leave your kids? He goes, I don't like the way the world is. Then I said, then damn it, why don't you become a patriot and try to do something about it? Why don't you learn what's going on in the world and teach the people? I said right now, and you guys know, we have family members that won't do a thing. But if we could reach out to 10 family members and ask them to reach out to friends and family and ask them to reach out to people. As the song said, what a wonderful world it would be. And do you know the power? You don't have to have a lot of people to get a lot of people. And I'm going to give an example. On March 5th, 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago now, I did my first recorded show. When I finished it, I said, God, I have no clue what I'm doing. That was my talk with him for the day. I said, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm going to post this. I'm going to send this link out. I got 12 people I can send it to. And one of them was Ron. And I said, but if I send it to them 12 people, and through this time that I'm doing this, Lord, if I can just get one person that I touch and I help, then I'm a winner. Tonight we got 85 people on here that evidently we're touching. But sending out to 12 people and asking them to send it out to people and asking them to send it out to people, in 3 months, I was at 36,000 followers. So what if we went to our family and woke them up? My goodness, we're getting ready to go into 10 days of darkness. And you think it's not going to be dark for us, guys. It's not going to be dark. But for these people that's not awake or woke or whatever you want to call it, it's going to be really dark.
You're going to be driving some of them crazy. They can't get on their phone or they can't get on their iPad.
You know, my son, who I love with all my heart, he got rid of our dining room table. I have no reason why. It was my dining room table. I come home one day and says, "Where's my table?" Well, I just threw it out. Huh? Why? We didn't need it. Well, see, I don't eat suppers and that at home. I eat down here with Ron. And I said, but I don't like that idea. I want to put back in the house. Well, no, when he went out, he hatcheted it. It was not coming back in. And then I'm getting to the point. It was after I got out of the hospital last year when I almost died. And
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, Ron was last year. It was after I got out of the hospital and I almost died. I wasn't feeling good one night and went down and got Ron some supper, and I went home for a little bit. I didn't eat. And I made myself supper down there, and I ate supper with them. I sit on this love seat. Brandon sat on the love seat. Mandy sat on the couch. Small Hank sat on the couch. And so did Kira. Was just, she was still drinking a bottle. But we did this. We ate. And when we got done, my son looked at me and said, "That's the first meal other than a family get-together you've ate at home with us." And he got choked up about it. And my grandson, small Hank, come up and said, "Grandpa Hank, that was nice. Can you do it more?" So I made it a point that I'd come down and get Ron supper after I had supper down there. But I didn't even point that 2 and 3 days a week I was eating supper down there. Because Friday night, they're never home. And then all of a sudden, they was never home any nights. And I'm down there, and I'm getting my supper, and I'm waiting for them to come home and get theirs, and they don't show up. I call my son on the phone. I says, "Hey, it's my night to have supper with you guys. Where you at?" "Oh, we decided to go out to eat, Dad." It was great that I did it, but then all of a sudden, boom, they lost interest. So I have dinners with Ron. November 11th, and I'm going to read this. You guys can make out of what you want. The moment of activation, the silence breaks tonight. The waiting ends. What was hidden began to reveal itself. The quantum grid completes its sync, and the old financial matrix dissolves as QFS takes full command of global systems. Every ledger, every encrypted line now moves under the frequency of truth. The illusion of control collapses quietly. Governments, banks, and corporations that thrived on deceptions are facing a force they cannot bargain with transparency. The flow of gold energy and data is aligning with the natural law. What was once stolen begins to return. Across the world, systems flicker, connections reset. This is not failure, it's punctuation. Energy is being redistributed to the rightful owners. The wealth of humanity is reconnecting to its sources. Tonight, 11/11 marks the crossing, the moment. The new timeline locks into the QFS plus merges with Earth core frequencies. Those who are awake will feel its surge of vibrations and stillness that hums with power. This is not the end. It is first heartbeat of a world reborn. Hold your ground, trust the prospects. The quantum dawn has begun. Now, when I said I didn't understand it, the reason I didn't understand it is because I was having a major brain fart. Because when I seen 11:11, for some reason I was thinking it was 12:11. And I was thinking, why would they be writing that? And we're not even there yet. So it turned out to be a decent little saying. Here's something about the beds. My first time in a special bed, I honestly didn't know what to expect. I've read the stories, tissues, regenerations, pain relief, even emotional healing, but today I lived it. As soon as I stepped in, I felt a calm wash over me. The vibrations, the warmth, the pulse, PULSING, energy. It's hard to explain, but my body just knew something real was happening. The back pain I've lived for years faded. My mind clear than it's been in a long time. My sleep last night deep, uninterrupted, peaceful. I walked in skeptically. I walked out changed. If you've been searching for a different kind of healing, no pills, no scalpels, just energy meeting biology, believe me, this is it. Now, I loved reading that. I loved listening to what he said because I believe in these beds 100 to 200%. But the thing I disliked about it was he said my first time, like he's been in several times before. And that bothers me because I feel we're right back to where we always have been, where the elite are going to be taken care of. You know, how about we make the senior citizens? How about we do actually make the people who's on death row, deathbed? How about we do make the kids who need it first? Or how about we do what we always did in school and we start with the alphabet, last name, starting with A. I think me and Ron could get on there. But no, I want it to be fair. I want everybody to get on. That's why I'm trying to say, if we could have went to the redemption centers, one of my goals is to build these special bed centers in small towns all over the place. Because I believe that as great as they are, there's going to be times when things are going to, you're going to need. What my goal is once you get on, then every 3 to 6 months, you go back in for a checkup. You get on bed number 1, and if everything's okay, boom, you take care of it. If something has slipped up, boom, you take care of it. As far as bed number 3, the regression, that's not gonna matter. That's gonna be one that will always be there because people will be getting to ages at some point. Now, Ron sent me this over. I can only read you what says. You make of it what you want. A private jet left Andrews Air Force Base without a filed flight plan. An hour later, an unmarked convoy entered Camp David under heavy guard. Whatever's happening is not in the briefings. So maybe something's happening. Should. The moment we've been preparing for is almost here. Over the next 24 to 48 hours, the final activation steps are expected to move into position. Officially, notifications could appear at any time. And guys, there's some things on Restored Republic I want to read. So I'm not going to read this because this is something I felt I've read 100 times on here. And I wanted to get to read a few things on Judy before we call it a night. Restored Republic via GCR as of December 1st, 2025. You know, that sounds so strange. It sounds so strange to say December 1st already. Wow.
And December goes by fast.
And Ron says December will go by even faster. Judy encourages us to do our own research and make up our own minds as to what is happening in the great war, good against evil. Restored Republic, Monday, December 1st, 2025, compiled by Judy Bidington. The storm has arrived. Hold the line. Just one more dawn. It's time. Come from JFK Jr. So that sounds to me like one more dawn. Things should be starting to really hit the fan tomorrow. Now, I say things should really hit the fan tomorrow because I happen to click on Mark Z's picture on TikTok. And it was Mark Z's thing today. And he says, I'm not hearing anything special for today. But he said he's hearing tomorrow is going to be super big. Now, is it going to be super big like the hats announcement? The hats announcement on Thanksgiving. Talk about a letdown, a bummer. When my niece asked me, Uncle Ralph, what's going on? And I said, we're really, really close. She said, that's what you always say. My answer back to her was, but remember, just like the movie The Little Giants, it only has to happen one time. But I got two things to say before I go into this because I wanted to cover this. The hats announcement. He announced 10 days before Thanksgiving, he was making an announcement that would shake the world. And all he really talked about that night was that soldier, that young girl that passed away on Thanksgiving Day from being shot in action 2 days before. But what's weird is 4 days before that, they have video of her in Iraq. 4 days before. But the hat comes out and says, what's so sad is it was just 2 days ago she was activated to duty. And wait a minute. You can't be in Iraq activated and not be not activated and be in the United States. And it's, guys, I just think it's part of the movie. I just think it's, I'm tired of people dying. But my point I wanted to make about this was 10 days ago, before Thanksgiving, he said he had announcements that was going to shake the world. It was going to change everything we do. We was all anticipating, like in the olden days, guys, and you remember this, the anticipation to see if that one drop of ketchup would come out.
Well, Restored Republic thought it was going to be about
of that
changed over to common law.
Heinz ketchup bottle. As Ron said, Restored Republic thought it was going to be about changing over to common law. But my point is, he was talking about this 10 days ago. So he knew 10 days ago in advance that this young lady was going to be shot and lose her life on Thanksgiving Day. Do these, for a man that's supposed to be so smart, does he really think that we're not smart enough to see something like that? My promise will be fulfilled. It's over. Turn on notifications from Mr. Q on Sunday, 30th November, 2025. EBS to activate late Monday, December 1st. So there's still a chance. 10 days of darkness from Friday, 5 December, 2025 until Monday, 15th December, 2025. Judy note, FBI Director Kash Patel has declared that Project Odin has been activated. In other words, we are under global martial law via the emergency broadcast system, set to be activated late Monday, 1 December 2025. So that is what I wanted to read from Judy. I wanted to get that stuff in. There is hope. We're right at an hour. Gary's good to see you in one voice. And just as Janet says, Patriots, keep smiling. Because when you're smiling, the whole world will smile with you. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, everyone who showed up tonight. And we will be back Wednesday unless we do get something good later tonight. And maybe we'll do a show tomorrow. I actually, when I thought about doing this show today, I did not think I would end it like this. I didn't think I stood a stoneball chance in hell to say this. But, guys, I really believe we're this close. I really believe we're ready to go. I really believe something amazing is going to happen very, very soon. Keep the faith, keep the vibrations up. If you can talk to someone and help them, plant seeds. It doesn't matter if they don't believe you. Plant a seed, because when it happens, they're going to be the first ones to run to you. Good night. God bless. We love you all, and we'll see you on Wednesday, if not before.